It's Roger Martin from Billings, Montana. Good day. It just looks like John Brennan got caught in perjury, and they're pretty sure that he's been the puppet master in this Russian gate thing, trying to get Trump out and impeached. He's made statements that he wanted Trump out, and I believe that he was the ringmaster in all this. And it also looks like he controlled a lot of the people in the FBI and other agencies related to this. He's done a lot of things wrong, and I think as things come down, you're going to see a public trial on Brennan, and he will probably be one of the few public trials, military trials, that will be broadcast and show that he is worthy of execution. Anyhow, let's see what this guy has to say.
Out and they got these huge contracts without going through competitive processes like they're supposed to.
Now, Jeff Bezos is their nickname Bozo, but anyhow, Jeff has been a puppet of the CIA ever since he started to get into Amazon. And I didn't know this, but other people have known that he's been a CIA puppet. And a lot of money and a lot of illegal contracts by the government to keep that boat afloat. And he's going to get caught on this stuff too, as things go on too, and get called on it.
And you look at the red area, it says Bozo the Clown equals clowns in America, CIA asset. So Jeff Bozo is a CIA asset. Obviously, he owns the Washington Post. Washington Post does hit pieces on QAnon, hit pieces on Trump on a daily basis. Trump a daily basis, Q pretty much every couple days nowadays, right? So crazy stuff going on, and it'll be real interesting to see that he's actually talk about a troll. He's basically talking about things like National Enquirer being a more reputable newspaper than what's it say? Far more accurate than the reporting of its lobbyist newspaper, the Amazon Washington Post. You just gotta love that, to just really look at that and see how he is trolling so effectively. All right, here's another analysis they did on lights off, lights on. Looking back at this recent one that was here on the 13th, talking about lights on at the end of that, and they're linking back to 1602. So again, 2672 just on the 13th here yesterday.
Now you want to know that this stuff's going back a year to date or longer with some of these things from Q. So this stuff has been planned out well in advance, a year or better. Like I said, Trump is a master planner, and this stuff has been planned over a year ago.
Had this link to the former CIA director John Brennan investigated for perjury, right? I revealed that in detail, read the whole thing in detail yesterday's show. I thought it was so important, even though it's an older article. If you really, I wish I had read it earlier, back when it was first out, because it really detailed John Brennan being the puppet master of this whole Spygate, the whole FISA-gate thing, right? And if you look at the Democratic House focus on POTUS equals insurance extension from Mueller to House. And then it says grand jury testimony underway in several states. Attempts to block, project them.
Now, this grand jury is going on, according to this, the Q read out, in several states. This is big. This is big.
Themselves will fail. Far beyond political corruption, sedition, law governing removal of a sitting congressman, man or woman, / senator. Lights on. So now, I love how the Matrix and Shady Grove caught on at 16. This links back to 1602 potentially, all the way back in June, where it says the fight to keep the lights off is all that matters to you. So there's big. So when the Great Awakening happens, it's going to be devastating for the deep state. That's what we know, right? So again, the fight to keep the lights off is all that matters to you. You will fail. He's talking right to the deep state, obviously. The American people are awake. You lost control. Sheep no more. You underestimated the resolve and their ability to free think away from the pipeline narratives. We will declass. We will shine light. There is nowhere to hide. No amount of money, influence, or power can stop this. Our right to secure and protect at all costs then become justified. We stand at the ready. Red wave, white squall, in God we trust. Q. Now we're going to get into some Lady Canuck things on the whole voter fraud thing. So I know a lot of people had predicted a huge red wave. It didn't happen. People were disappointed, but it's interesting. Some people are saying, I don't think Soros is dead. I agree. It's a theory and something that we can look at as we go. But it's just interesting to see how there is, some theories going out there, and it's always fun for us as we're thinking through different scenarios of what Q actually means in these different areas. But this was kind of a cool one, is the lights on, lights off, right? He goes into some other details here. I thought this was interesting, where you look at this another tweet. So there's a lot of don't be doing that to me. I have to go back to the in the matrix thing. There we go. Don't be doing that to me. But in the matrix is also awesome with Shady Groove and how they're working it. Make sure you're on their threads, because they do just an awesome job of going through. And here's his pinned tweet that he did all the way back in several months ago, on May 25th, actually, 6 months ago. I think that's when he got queued on. And then they just do an awesome job, and you can tell he's posting some more stuff just tonight. This is the one that I was on, this thread right here. And so this thread goes over what we went over last night pretty well. And then I'm blown into some of the things that we didn't go over. Here's the one I just reviewed with you. The next one I wanted to review with you was right here. And this is one big picture. So here's the troll. So Trump said, likewise, do not want the Kurds to provoke Turkey, Russia, Iran, and Syria have been the biggest beneficiaries of long-term U.S. policy of destroying ISIS in Syria. Natural enemies, we also benefit, but it's now time to bring our troops back home. Stop the endless wars. And look at the capital letters again, are endless wars. So that's the main point I wanted to make here, is endless wars. So what's he really mean when he's talking about all these endless wars, right? Well, the next, I thought this was a brilliant find by them as well. Look at this. This is pointing back to 489. U.S. taxpayers are paying for it all. This is back on January. Paris Accord equals scam trillions. Red Cross equals scam billions. Foreign aid equals scam trillions. War equals scam trillions. On and on. So on and on is endless wars. Right? They want us, and that is just exactly, we hear they want us to be divided. They want us to fight between race and gender and everything they could imagine, and they want endless wars, the scams of on and on wars. And those of you who went through the book with me of Killing of Uncle Sam, you know that they are the creators of both sides of the war, so they can keep and make themselves more wealthy. It's just amazing. Alpha Lobster, thank you so much. God bless all. Thank you, Bustich, for all you do. Do appreciate it. The super chat there. Here we go on.
So anyhow, one of the takeaways, the most important takeaways of all this is, not is Trump keeping up on what's going on, and so is Q posting this stuff to get this stuff out, but it's to help people think. All this money, all this corporation, all this money, all these endless wars, all this money put into these different scams and corporations, a lot of this stuff is siphoned off and goes to the deep state and the world order situation to feed their own agendas. And we don't ever hear about that. They've created these corporations and used these agendas for almost 100 plus years. It goes back clear into the later 1800s. So, uh, 100 plus years, 120 years or more, almost 140 now. So they've been using these things to create uh, terrible, terrible situations to put money into the machinery of war and the raid and rapes of war, and as far as plunder with gold and other things. Uh, valuable assets that have been stolen and seized, all to put into their uh, war chests to siphon money into these elite world order groups. And this is coming out now and will be more fully shown in the months and years to come. But this endless war cycles, uh, Trump is trying to stop this as well. He's also trying to stop the Federal Reserve, the IRS, the illegal confiscation of our money funds and corporations through the world order, through the IRS and the Federal Reserve. This is all connected. They're all different groups trying to feed this endless appetite of these world order mongers. And they're sick people, to say the least, but they are using uh, these mechanisms, uh, corporations, war, IRS, Federal Reserve, these other funds like Red Cross. You wouldn't think they are. Uh, Paris Accord, another one. Uh, Foreign aid. All these different mechanisms to feed their never-ending power for a lust for power, and to use us as pawns in doing this, and to further their own agenda. So it's very unfortunate, but it looks like it's been very effective in Trump and other individuals are trying to stop these mechanisms and these systems from doing just that. And so there's so much going on. There's so much planning behind the scenes. So many other people jumping on board and on ship with these things. So we're seeing a great division in the IRS, the Federal Reserve. Uh, they want to abolish those. Remember, I told you yesterday to jump on board and get a hold of your congressman on the HR bills uh, 24 and 25, because they are just about this very issue. To stop funding of the Federal Reserve and to stop the IRS, to actually abolish the IRS and to abolish the Federal Reserve. And those bills have both been put forth in the 116th Congress, uh, HR 24 and HR 25. Look at those yesterday and what it gave you, and write to congressmen and get them on board, put some pressure on them. Let's get these passed. I don't know if they've got a chance of passing, but people need to be aware that they need to be passed and voted on and aware of what's going on. So those two entities, the IRS and the Federal Reserve, can be slowed down, stopped, or even uh, destroyed. Because if we can get rid of the Federal Reserve and get rid of the 17 plus trillion dollars of debt that they've made over the years through this foolishness, and we can get rid of the confiscation of it through the Federal Reserve and these corporations, and through their arm, their collection arm, the IRS. Big stuff. Big stuff going on. Let me tell you. This is Roger Martin, Village, Montana. Good day.